Alright, clarinet players, we're at a point where we are going to assemble the entire instrument. You'll notice I have my upper joint, barrel, mouthpiece, ligature, reed assembled, and I have my lower joint and bell assembled over here also. Before we can put the instrument completely together, we need to grease the cork on the upper joint, this one right here. But before that, I need to point out something very important. On the upper joint, you'll notice that where our finger number 2, our left middle finger goes, this ring moves something else on the instrument. Underneath these 4 keys, we have what's called a bridge key. And as I'm moving this circle or this ring, the upper joint bridge key is also moving. We need to grease the cork and make sure that we don't bend or force that bridge key up whenever we're greasing. This bridge key is eventually going to meet up with the lower joint bridge key. Here I have my lower joint. You'll notice that we have these 3 rings, and anytime I push any of these 3 rings, it moves this bridge key right here. And here it is from a different angle. Okay. Whenever I assemble my instrument, I make sure I hold the upper joint setup in my left hand. And my hand position is kind of like I'm going to be playing the instrument. I'll put my middle finger, or finger number 2, on that ring we just talked about. Again, I'm going to point out that whenever you push that button or that ring, the bridge key, that's what we call that, the bridge key is going to go up. So I keep that pressed, make sure that this is up. Also, when I assemble my instrument, I'll make sure to have the lower joint in my right hand, and it's important to not push these rings to raise that part of the bridge key. You actually don't want that to be up, you want to leave that down. So I'll hold the instrument kind of down here and avoid touching this rod. So when I finally assemble my instrument, I'm going to push this key down in the upper joint and make sure that the bridge key is up. Here's what it looks like from your perspective. On the upper joint, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to push this second key to raise this bridge key. You want to make sure that that is up. On the lower joint, you don't want to push these. You want to keep these buttons up. That way this part of the bridge key stays down. I'm going to hold my instrument from down here, avoiding these rods. And then what I do is I'm going to try my best to meet the upper joint and lower joint as close to the bridge keys as possible. Still keeping this up, I'm going to use some force, twist until the bridge keys meet. Now, that's kind of how you want the bridge key to look. Whenever we push these buttons and the instrument's properly assembled, notice that it's going to push this key down like it's supposed to. Okay? So you want to make sure that the bridge key is lined up with the upper one. The upper joint has to be on top. The same thing goes whenever you disassemble the instrument. Hold the bottom joint from down here, avoiding grasping too hard on this rod right here. Keep this button pushed in your left hand, twist, and pull the instrument apart. So I'm going to show you again. The upper joint looks like this. You want to make sure you push this second key down all the way. In the right hand, you hold the lower joint from down here, and you want to get the bridge keys as close together as possible, twisting and using some force to match up the bridge key. Okay, now yours might look something like this. The instrument will not work properly if it's crooked like that. So you want to make sure that you line up the bridge keys just like that.